All right, so we got the NorCide in the building today, man. Tell them who we got on Rico TV today.
Oh, man, you got OG Lil Dogg, man. NorCide's finest, man.
Yes, sir.
Y'all know what it is.
Yes, sir. Okay, so, man, first of all, this one's special to me for more than one reason. Number one, I wanted to start off with just some content off the NorCide. Both sides of my family is, like, from the NorCide. And number two, man, I didn't even know. I've been knowing this man my whole life and did not know, had no clue that he was OG Lil Dogg at all. So, man, first, big cuz, welcome and thank you for coming and spending some time with us today. So, I want to start off with your story, man. What year you born?
I was born in 74.
Okay, 1974. And you born in Fort Worth?
Yeah, born in Fort Worth. Peter Smith Hospital.
Okay, real JPS baby. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, real JPS baby. So, what side of town did you live on for the first years of your life?
NorCide.
NorCide, yeah, the whole entire time.
Whole time.
Okay.
Up until I went to the daycare right there by the park. Then when I started school, I went to Kirkpatrick, Lil Kirkpatrick.
Okay.
Then we left the NorCide, and we went to the east side.
Okay.
And I went to M.M. Walton. Then after M.M. Walton, I think we might have came back to the north for a little bit. Then we went to Forest Hill. Then I went to Forest Hill Elementary.
Okay. So we gonna say from 74 to 84, right? And
Okay.
84 is an important year too, which we're gonna get to in the course of this interview. But like, what was Fort Worth like then? I mean, I know you was a young child for most of those, but do you remember what you would do going outside on the NorCide, or like, you know, what was y'all into before 84? Oh
man, it was predominantly black over there, all black. So, I mean, we would go to the park, we would go to the boys club. Man, we'd ride our bikes, you know. We was kids, you know, just being kids, it was fun, man. You know, we'd go watch the old school. They played softball in the park. They used to have softball games. And man, it was a good time, man.
Okay.
It was a good time.
Okay, so my assumption is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but my assumption is in a neighborhood like that, you know, originally there's not even much trouble to get into, huh? Because you know, it's spread out, you riding bikes, you just doing things that kids do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, I did an interview yesterday with legendary Fort Worth Weasel, and he told me that Fort Worth got integrated, or the whole country got integrated in 1964. So that's about 10 years prior to you being born.
Okay.
So my question to you is even as maybe like a 5-year-old kid, which probably would have put you at 79, can you remember any racism, or can you remember any segregation? And let me put some more context on it, because he told me we didn't just immediately start trying to go into white establishments and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just because it was integrated. We still kind of was like, nah, we still gonna move on our own.
Okay.
Was that still the sentiment by the time you was coming up, or it was fully integrated?
As far as I can remember, and I've heard a few stories like River Oaks.
Okay.
Like our uncles, our dads, your dad, you know, they used to say like they couldn't go up through there. Even up and down 28th Street, they say the white folks would throw bottles at them and stuff like that, you know. So me personally, I never got to see any, you know, racism or, you know, prejudice. I wasn't brought up like that, because we brought up around Hispanics.
Right, okay.
So, you know, that's who, you know, black and brown is all I knew as a kid.
Okay. And so that's on the NorCide too. So right now, as far as what most people know the NorCide for, they know the NorCide for faux trade, which we're gonna get into later, but then they know the NorCide for being pretty much Little Mexico. So it's always been like that.
Right, yeah, it's always been Hispanic and black.
Okay.
Hispanic and black.
Boom. Now, 1984 is here.
Okay.
And I'm just going off the timeline from what once again Weasel told me. He said about 84.
Okay.
Gangs start showing up in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Like, is that accurate? Could you say about 84?
That is, I would give that a accurate assumption.
Okay.
Because let me see. I started hearing about colors and Crips, Bloods. But mind you, it's always been gangs on the north side, Hispanic gangs.
Okay.
So gangs, we've always known about gangs.
Right.
But as far as black gangs, yeah, around 84, 85 is when I started hearing about it.
Okay, and I kind of want to piggyback on that a little bit too, because that's kind of what I was wanting to ask too, as far as to refer back to my previous interview. He pretty much told me, Fort Worth has always been a crime city.
Right.
Fort Worth has always been a gang city.
Right.
So gangs existed before 84 here in Texas.
Right.
Or here in Fort Worth.
Right.
Okay. I've kind of heard some names of like some of them old school gangs, but I can't think of none off the top of my head. Do you remember any?
Well, far as like, and see, I'm just speaking for the north side.
Right.
I can't speak for the east side, the south side, the west side. But far as me being a kid, it's always been VNS, VQS, just Hispanic gangs. You know what I mean? So.
Okay, so they've always been kind of doing that.
Yeah.
And as far as these gangs, would you say, because here's the thing, in LA, I've done my studies, in LA, a lot of them say, hey, our gang started kind of as a neighborhood, like protection type deal, you know what I mean? To keep police honest in our neighborhood or to keep outsiders from coming in and, doing whatever.
Right.
So did you witness any of that type of stuff, like the gangs actually doing that and serving that purpose?
Now, to be honest, by the time it got to us, it was just it was like the Wild Wild West around here, man. It was just nah, it wasn't none of that.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't none of that protecting neighborhoods and all that, man. It was like survival of the fittest.
Right. Okay. So it was since the time it got here, it was cracking.
Yeah, it's been cracking ever since.
Okay. So we a little bit now. We in 84. Do you slowly start noticing like oh, them are Crips or whatnot, or does it? My thing is I've heard that the movie Colors hit and then boom, that's when everything hit. I've also heard other people say, well, now I knew what was going on before the movie Colors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When Colors hit, that made it like a fad,
like a mainstream thing.
Yeah. I guess like a blueprint to what to go off of.
Right.
Because mind you now, California people have been coming here.
Right.
Off and on.
Right.
Because we had L.A. Ron. We had he was a Crip, and we had what's my partner? He a Blood. He locked up.
That kind of actually segues me perfectly into my next question.
Okay.
So we can only speak for the north side in this room right now.
Okay.
As far as what the north side claims and what, first off, just to make it clear to everybody, I don't think it's a secret, but the north side, it's fair to say, is predominantly Faux Trey, right?
Right.
Okay. So is Faux Trey something that somebody brought from LA?
Yes.
Okay.
And to be honest, before we started claiming Faux Trey, we were already claiming something else, like a neighborhood posse.
Okay.
We were NWP.
Okay.
And when the Crippin' came, we were still NWP. And as we got to slowly integrating with them or going to the south side, different parts, you know what I'm saying, of Fort Worth, I hooked up with my partner named Lil Robert, OG Lil Robert. And like I said, I used to hang on the south. And they was cripping, and we just linked up, man.
Yeah.
And we just linked up, and
that's what it was.
That's what happened.
Okay.
And that's what happened.
So, what year would you say this is?
90, 91.
Okay. So about 1991. It's fair to say that that's when it started on the north side as far as faux trade. So let me ask you this: is it a group thing, or is it maybe one or two people got down and then it spread from there?
Okay, how it happened? I'm one of the first ones.
Right.
I was put on first.
Right.
I was jumped in first. Then we jumped in. It was 3, 4 more. I'm bad with names. I can't remember, man. But it was about 3, 4, 5 of us, and we all got on. So, like I say, I messed around on the south.
Right.
Back and forth from the north to the south, and my partner Raymond, he he's north side to the fullest. So,
right. Okay.
But he would mess around on the south too. But he would more so stay coming to the south back and forth more than me, and so that's how it spread it back to the north.
Okay.
And when we started coming back north, we go south or whatever, then we come back north for a while, and it just got bigger, and we started putting people on, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
Okay, cool. So, that's honestly one of the questions I was gonna have, because this is one of those depending on who you ask type questions too.
Okay.
But I've heard some people say the faux trade absolutely started on the north side. Then I've heard some people say no, it actually started on the south side. Mm-hmm. But during that time, there was some people that was from the north side fucking with the south side tough.
That's
which I guess now we know who that is. And it got taken back to the north side.
Right.
And the north side is recognized as trade land because they're all trade land.
That's right.
And the south side don't get that label because they got the top and the bottom. They got 5 deuce and then they got faux trade.
Right.
So that's correct.
Yeah, you are correct.
Okay.
You are correct.
Okay. So cool. So now 91, 92. First off, did you have to do any prison time behind cripping at all?
No, it's all behind hustling in the streets.
Right. Okay.
Hustling in the streets.
Okay. Cool. And we don't really even got to go too much into that. But so let me ask you this: when you get to the penitentiary, one thing that's been a debate on the internet is I'm sure you've heard of OG Percy before.
Yes.
And OG Percy, one of his biggest claims is that when you hit TDC, if you say you're a Crip, you got to check in.
Right.
Then you got other people that's done time that said, man, I've been on a unit with him, and I was claiming Crip.
Right.
Nobody checked me in.
Yeah. I've been on 3 or 4 different units myself, because I've been to prison 2 times. But man, I guess it depends on what unit you fall on and who's speaking for who and all that kind of stuff. But mind you, back when I went to prison, we didn't have no spokesperson saying, oh, he's speaking for this.
Right.
And all this and that. So, man, it was all like, you go to the, you fall on the unit or whatever, and you find out what's going on. Is Crips over here, is Bloods over here, or your homeboy over there, or this, that, and the other. But no, man, I mean, now if they shoot them at you like that, if they want to see what you about, yeah, they gonna run them at you. Right. But if you certified, they already know what it was from the streets. Right. You ain't got it. Good.
Right.
Good.
Okay. So I'm gonna just say this, and this isn't to take anything away from OG Percy's claims, because as you said, that very well may have been the case at his unit.
That's right.
I just, listening to it, always found it hard to believe that you could just do that to every single Crip that come through the door.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It doesn't seem realistic to me. So you know what I'm saying?
Really.
Okay, so in prison, is it segregated by Bloods, Crips, and then Hispanics, and then if you white, then you just kind of out? You're not even in the mix, really.
Again, it depends on what unit you go to. and if it's rock and rolling like that. But for the most part, man, and like you say, this is back when I went. When I went, we was coming fresh off the streets, and there wasn't no peace. So we was kind of like getting into it with Bloods and stuff. But it is race. It is kind of like racy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So we're segregated by race.
Right.
And so let me ask you this. Let's say a Mexican send it up on a Crip. Is it just Crips versus Mexican, or do the Bloods jump in to help? It depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends on the situation. For the most part, now if it's, say we outnumbered on a unit, it's predominantly all Mexicans. The Bloods and the Crips, if it's not no beefing or nothing going on, we'd come together.
Let's talk about now we in the famous Murder Worth era.
Okay.
For somebody like me who's born in 90, I don't become a 10-year-old until 2000, and then coming a teenager into the early 2000s. So I only heard about Murder Worth, right?
Okay.
Was it as bad as they say it was?
Yes, it was. It was. It was. Oh man, it was a lot of killing going on, man, and that's how it got the name.
Right.
That's how it got its name, man.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we were the murder capital of the world. I do believe in that year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do believe.
Well, you know me, I'm a nerd. I done done my fact check. We for sure was the murder capital, and just to clarify for anybody who could say, "Oh, y'all didn't have more murders than New York or this that days." When they do that, they're talking about per capita. Per capita means per 1,000 people. Okay. So there could very well have been more murders in New York City.
Okay, right.
But it's 60 million people, not literally, but 60 million people there.
Right, right.
At this time, we doing those same kind of numbers. Right. And it's maybe only 400,000 people in this city.
Yeah, yeah.
So people is, so let me ask you this. Okay. Are people flat out coming up missing, or is it like just war?
It's war.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just flat out war.
Just flat out war. Okay. But as far as what you've seen, have you ever seen, like, because my assumption is the image I get is the old school 1990s drive-bys. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Were people doing drive-bys back then?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, definitely.
So it was to where if you one of them faces, you known you can't stand outside?
Nah. It was like and the thing is, man, and this is just crazy and crazy thinking and but how we thought, if you was a known name, that's who we wanted.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
So, it was that's just what it was then. You know what I mean? Right. Yeah, I want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you was one of them faces back then, you really are blessed to be here today.
That's right. They call us dinosaurs out here. Man. Because we made it through that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, we didn't come through squeaky clean, Right. I got war wounds. Right. But I'm here.
All right, so you just said you got war wounds, and I'm assuming that you've been shot. Have you been shot before?
Yes, I have.
Oh, man.
Yes, and it was on some gangbanging shit. It was Club Fernandez. This was 1992. And like you said, it was cracking, man, and it was on site. So we out having a good time, doing whatever, and it went down that night. And shit,
see,
I got shot.
Yeah. Right, okay.
I don't know if they were Bloods or they were from the west side. Okay. Because Bloods were there.
Right, okay.
But like I say, it went down, man. It was a big old gang fight.
Right.
And I ended up getting shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's fair to say that you like you said, you didn't come out squeaky clean, but by the grace of God, you are, here and can tell these type of stories. So
Yes.
That kind of raises another question for me. So in Fort Worth, was it all Crip unity, or was it some Crip sets that didn't necessarily get along with Fort Trey, or was it all like mostly like, oh, you a Crip, we good?
Yeah, see, in my era, we had a thing called the 187 Gangster Family,
Okay.
which is Fort Trey, Fire Deuce, and Grape Street.
Okay.
So we was family.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Now everybody didn't fall up under that.
Right.
It was just those certain individuals.
Right.
And it was love.
Right.
Yeah,
it was love. So
yeah.
So y'all could all three you could find different sets of y'all all three
together. That's
or
right.
whatnot.
That's
Okay.
right.
So in today's world, we kind of call that clicked up. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? To where you clicked up with this. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So a lot of people ask, because even for me, bro, I grew up in Forest Hill, which you know.
Yeah.
And for me, it's two sides of town that always kind of been like an island for me, right?
Right.
So, and when I say an island, I mean like you go over there, it's its own thing. You damn near don't feel like you in the city no more because
Right.
it's its own thing. Do the North Side kind of fool with the rest of the city? Like, you know what I'm saying? Do they politic with everybody else?
Now,
Yeah.
now pretty much we everywhere, because like I said, a lot of us done did time with homies from other neighborhoods and stuff like that. I got blood partners
Right.
and yeah, man.
Yeah.
And the only neighborhood that used to give us hell was Como.
Really?
But we tight, we click tight now.
Right.
But back then, Como used to give us hell.
Really?
Yeah.
But okay, why that's confusing to me is because if I'm not mistaken, they claim rolling 60s over there, right?
Right.
They Crips over there.
Yes.
But that don't necessarily mean that we clicked up like that. either.
Right.
Okay.
And this is prior to them claiming Crip over there.
Really?
They were BVA and something else. Then the Crippin' went out there and some Bloods went out there.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So I hear a lot of people, and this is even my experience. I was just talking to my partner Half Pint about this the other day on Facebook, because he said, man, is it just me, or did it seem like Bloods just popped out of nowhere? Even me growing up, and maybe it's the side of town I grew up on, but I didn't meet a real Blood until I got maybe to the 8th grade or 7th or the 9th grade or something like that.
Okay.
For the most part, everybody claimed Crip. Let me ask you this. As far as just Fort Trey is concerned, was there any Blood sets that y'all was actually okay with? Maybe not partners hanging out, but just like, oh, they, we ain't worried about them, or it's cool, it's love or whatnot.
Nah.
Nuh-uh.
When it was going down, it was.
You had on anything red, it's that.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It's that.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And vice versa. If you,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you over there.
Right.
So let me ask you this. In them days, would you have to completely avoid Stop 6 or the East Side?
You back then, you didn't want to get caught over there bullshitting,
Right.
cause they wasn't no pushover neither. If they seen, like you say, they was gonna see what it was with.
Check your temperature.
Yeah, but hell, we got a Blood. He rest in peace. Boots. He was a Blood from L.A. from the NorCide,
Okay.
and that goes back to those early '80s and '83s, '84s. He was around.
Right.
But our generation of Bloods, Stop 6. You didn't want to get caught out there bullshitting.
Right. Okay. So as far as vice versa, like I can even think of instances where you could be from maybe Stop 6, but your granny stay over here on the north side or something like
right,
that.
right.
You can't even come see your granny?
Nah, back then when it was going down, it wasn't no passes.
No passes.
Nah, it wasn't no passes because we lost homies to this.
Right.
So we was kind of, we was throwed, man.
Yeah.
You know, so we wanted some get back.
Right.
So you wasn't coming over there in no red.
Right.
Yeah.
What if you had a cousin or something? If they family,
Yeah, man. It
okay.
wasn't. It ain't nothing like that.
Right,
You know what
right.
I mean, yeah, it wasn't just like
But
that.
I could-
But like, and just to go back to like you say, about a pass, it depends on what blood you were, also.
Okay.
And what Crip you were also, if you got that pass and if they wanted to get that pass.
Right.
Cause like you say, we got blood partners, you know what I'm saying? As we got older and more mature and, you know, that ain't what it was,
Right.
you know what I mean? And yeah, that's just what it was, man.
Right. So, okay. So now let's talk about the north side specifically. And he actually told me to, hey, whenever you get somebody from the north in front of the camera, ask them what it was like to have to bang against whoever your ops are.
Okay.
And then you got these Mexicans right here in your backyard.
Right.
Like he said, they was pretty active too. So
Right.
y'all really had to be on y'all toes.
Right.
Like how was that, or how would a conflict with Mexicans even start in the streets?
Cause mind you, we was going to school with them.
Right. Okay.
So we would get into it with them at school
Right.
or whatever. And hell, and they'd come through.
Right.
Yeah, they come
Yeah.
through. Yeah. It because before it was any gunplay, it was always,
Yeah.
you know, we fight.
Right.
So we came up fighting them.
Right.
So, but yeah, they would come through, and like I say, we had it kind of like extra too because we had to worry about. Now they claim blood. Those Mexican gangs, they were bloods.
Okay. Okay.
So we had to worry about the Mexican bloods and the black bloods.
Right.
You know, so
Right.
yeah, we had our first share of wars. And not to brag or
Yeah.
boast, but we've shut 3-4 sets down. They don't even exist anymore.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And yeah, no, look, we listen, this is all history at the end of the day, man. You know, even you, that cousin I'm talking about, you know, right now y'all both would say, hey, I give everybody their credit.
Right.
You know, we grown now.
Right.
You know what
right,
I'm saying?
right.
So yeah, no, we not bragging about it at all. It's just the truth.
It's
you know
truth.
what I'm saying?
That's
It's
our
the truth.
That's right.
So now I want to kind of ask some frequently asked questions
Okay.
about the north side
Okay.
that the rest of the city might be confused about. I seen an interview a while ago, and it was a kind of heavy set dude, and he was talking about the north side.
Okay.
And he had on a big maroon shirt.
Okay.
And people in the comments was like, "Oh, these Texas Crips don't even know what they doing out here because
Yeah.
maroon is a Pyru color."
Right.
And how they say that's one of their hood colors if they supposed to be Crips. So
Right.
can you explain what the maroon is to you know what that
Right.
how that's a hood color?
Man, look here, man. The maroon is for the NorCide High School.
Right.
That's how we would let you know originally where we was from. The maroon. When you seen that maroon, you automatically knew, oh, that's NorCide.
Right. Right.
We went through that
Right.
era.
Right.
Where I wore maroon, and they with the Crips on the side were like, man, they wear maroon and all this and that, and we'd have to shut that down.
Right.
And let them know what it was.
Right.
Yeah, there's NorCide.
Right.
Yeah.
And where I'm gonna give y'all some credit on that too is, like you said, this is what we was doing before the Crippin' got
Right.
here.
That's right.
And so while we did adopt some of that Crippin' culture,
Right.
you can't erase ours.
That's right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
You're not
That's
erasing
right.
ours.
That's
So
right.
we still north side.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
It's still Crippin'.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
And you know, that's what that is. And
That's
honestly, if people really want to just get smart and open up their literature book, then, you know, Paru and blood, that's not even the same. So,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
That's right.
So that's that and that.
That's
okay.
right.
So, man, you might see a bunch of dudes, right?
Okay.
In powder blue.
Okay.
They have on powder blue, and they'll have on a bunch of North Carolina gear.
Yes. Yes.
And you'll be like, man, wait a minute. Like, I thought, number one, I thought baby blue was a Paru color, which is weird too because it's still a shade of blue.
Right.
But then too, they would say, man, what's all them NCs about? Why did they adopt North Carolina's logo like that? What's that about?
Yeah, that's NorCide, that internet C.
Right.
You know, we had to let you know. Since y'all was tripping about the maroon, everybody's tripping about the maroon. Okay, now here go this NC. What you gonna say about that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
NorCide.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
right.
North side, and that's North with an N and CIDE.
That's
North
right.
Side. Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Okay, so, and just to put more context to it, it's the same way in LA to where you'll see Rolling 60s wearing the Seattle Mariners.
Right.
You just adopt the logo for
Right.
the hood and,
Right.
and all of that. So, let's talk about the current state of the North Side and faux trade, because you know this story off camera, but I've never told this story off camera, man. I'm in the club. I'm at a club one night, just me and my wife, and you know, I think I had just got this, and then I had another necklace on that was it was broken.
Okay.
Or it's broken now, but it wasn't. And so I'm standing in a bunch of dudes in North Carolina gear. They wearing white and baby blue, all of them.
Okay.
They looking at me, and you know, nowadays they probably didn't do this back when, cause y'all was more active. But nowadays, instead of getting at you, what a nigga might do is, nigga, I slide me a nigga in a pair of Jordan 4s, or you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Describing you, like rapping aggressive lyrics.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
like, but they don't want to just say what's up with you.
Right.
They'll just, nigga, I robbed me a nigga in a pressure shirt tonight.
Okay.
Type
Okay.
shit.
Yeah.
And you know me. You know me well. You've been knowing me my whole life.
That's right.
I'm not a gangster.
That's
I'm
right.
not a street dude.
Right.
But it was so bad to where I wouldn't even be a man if I didn't say something.
Okay. Okay.
So I tell the one closest to me, I say, "What's up, bro? You know me or something? Like,
Already.
what's up, bro?"
Right.
He get up on me quick. I'm on the wall like this because it's a bunch of them. So he get up on me. He say, "Yeah, cuz, what you know about that faux trade Northside shit, cuz?" Backed him out of my personal space. I said, first of all, I don't know nothing about it. I'm from Forest Hill.
Right.
And I ain't gonna lie. At first, I'm like, okay, I'm finna get on that with these niggas. But I'm like, that's not smart.
Right.
That's not the smart play.
Right, right.
So I instantly, my brain start working, and I say, hold on, wait a minute. If you say you from the North Side,
Right.
and you really faux trade,
Right.
then you know my cousins.
That's right.
You know all of them.
That's right.
And so his partner kind of grab him because I get the name and names.
Okay.
I named my cousin June, which is your son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even really get up to y'all names and stuff. I'm naming my cousins that's my age.
Right.
My cousin X-Man,
really?
June.
Yeah.
And so they instantly like, oh man, hold on. They grab the one because he obviously off a pill or something. He won't smoke regardless.
Okay.
So they grab him, and he had to be their leader or they whatever.
Okay.
But he grabbed him and he get up on me and he say, "Oh, them your cousins, bro?" And I say, "Yeah, them my cousins." Like, and he say, "You know how black people will say they cousins?" Like, he said, "Them your real cousins?" I'm like, "Bro, my real cousins, bro." Like, shit, I could pick up the phone and call them right now.
Already, yeah.
And so he say, "Oh shit, like the whole thing changed.
Already.
His whole energy changed."
Okay.
He said, "Oh shit, well if them your cousins, then shit, you might be my cousin."
Already.
And it was love, and now every time I go in that club and I see them, cause they be there, it's all good and it's all love. But I brought up that story because I called a few of my cousins, and within hours they was able to tell me who it was. One of my cousins told me, "Hey, cuz, it's a good thing you said the names you did because, little bro, that's what he do." Okay. So they definitely would have did that to you that night. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So it's good you said the names you said. Okay. But what I ain't gonna lie to you, I was impressed by what seems to be the structure. Right. It seems like there's still structure there's still respect
That's right.
amongst, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So how did y'all establish that? Because right now it's just a bunch of renegade shit over the rest of the city.
Not to take nothing from any other neighborhood, but you know, we had that instilled in us since childhood.
Right.
And that has something to do with the upbringing.
Right.
And it just that's just in us. That's just how we are. NorCide. That's
Right.
just how we are. You gonna respect this. You gonna respect that because we damn near everybody over there damn near kinfolks.
Right.
So you know you gonna have some respect for something.
Right. Right. For sure. Yeah. Okay. So I already know the correct or your answer today would be to tell them don't. But let's say you got a young kid over there and he said, man, he from the north side and he say, man, I want to get down with this faux trade thing. Like I want to get down with faux trade.
Exactly.
I know your answer today would tell him don't.
Yeah.
You tell him go to school.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even then, man, it's just something that's just been in me.
Right.
Anyway, all my little homies.
Right.
I tried to keep them from that.
Right.
I used to tell HT. I used to tell Don Shay, go to school, bro. Y'all go to school, man. Y'all got something. Y'all sports stars, man.
Right.
You know, I always preach that, man.
Right.
Yeah, gangs, man, that ain't what it is, man.
Right.
Yeah, man,
Right.
live your life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, real talking. I can honestly say just with me, bro, me being kind of a living testament of that too, like, you know both sides of my family, and you know it could have been easy for me to be anything other than what I am today. Right. But people, cousins like you know what I'm saying, who never made that look cool. Like off camera, I was just telling bro, like, bro, I've kind of heard the name OG Lil Dogg and had no idea who it was. Yeah. And didn't even realize that I had Thanksgiving with him every year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Like, and so, bro, I think it's a testament to not even just your gangster, bro, but more importantly than that, just you as a man, bro, to that's who you are. But man, this guy, he still, when he talking to my granny, which is his aunt, he yes ma'am, no ma'am. That's right. You know what I'm saying? That's right. Like ultimate respect, bro. So
appreciate you.
Man, let me ask you this.
Okay.
As far as do's and don'ts on the north side today. Okay. What are some do's and don'ts?
Now, the north side has always been on the don't side. If you from somewhere else, don't come over there.
Right.
You know, and that's just, it's always been like that.
Right.
Now, we can go wherever we want to, but you can't come to the north side.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a don't. But pretty much, man, if you coming over there tripping,
right? You
know what I mean, or on some crazy shit, don't. But the dudes, man, we open arms, man. You know, we just trying to live, man. Yeah. You know, we just trying to survive, man.
So this is gonna be pretty much my last series of questions right now. How many OGs are there of the north side now? Like, how many of them are like originals? As far as the original, let's say original 10.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna assume maybe we've lost some to the streets or to the jail cell.
Right. Of course. Yeah, it's some homies, it's some G's over there, man. You know, I let them tell their story and get their names, but right. You know, but yeah, it's about 7, 8, 9 G's over there.
Right. Okay. So, man, before we get out of here, man, anybody you want to give a shout out to, man, anybody this mess around, it might be your new thing, bro. Yeah. Yeah, you might you know what I'm saying, you might have a bunch of people. Man, I seen you on What's Up, OG Lil Dogg. Yeah. First of all, is it okay to call you OG Lil Dogg out in public or you know?
Man, Dog Pound.
Dog Pound.
Y'all know what it is.
Yes, sir. All right. Where can we find you? What's your Instagram? And I'm gonna put it on the screen, but
yeah. You can do all that, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. Y'all know Lotto, Texas.
Yes, sir. And like that, man, because thank you for coming out and just sharing your story with us, man. Hopefully we can do this again soon.
For sure.
Yes, sir. Much
Appreciate
love.
it.
We out.